Good morning, everybody. This is Kurt H. I am the Lazy Farmer, and I'm back in Run 8 this morning. And actually, I'm doing something a little bit different. Bear with me here. I'm trying to grab something. Excuse me. Let's see. Do I have it? And yep, I got the sniffles. It was cold. It was windy last night. Um, there we go. I think this is what. This is what I want. All right. So, all right, I'm set. There we go. Hey, let's go ahead and get started on this. So this is something I've been considering for some time, and what we're looking at obviously is the beginning screen and what you would see when you install Run 8 for the very first time. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go back and kind of do a little bit of a retrospective about my beginnings and maybe talk about some of the things that I've learned um, between starting Run 8 for the very first time and not knowing what to do, where to go, and how to do it, to what, and kind of give a comparison of what I know now, um, and maybe help out those people that are brand new. And I got this idea a while back. I mean, not a long time ago, but a while back, reading through the forums, and I just want to do. It's my perspective. Now, I know there's going to be somebody out there going, "Hey, that's wrong. I would do it this way." That's fine. You guys do you, okay? Um, if you have a different way of doing it, this is just what I've learned. Now, mind you, I'm coming into Run 8. I'm just a train fan, okay? I'm not a railroader. I'm a train fan. And I love trains. I mean, ever since I was a little kid, you guys have heard my story before if you watched all my videos. I had a model railroad. I want a model railroad again. I just don't have room for one. And it's got to be HO, and it's got to be big. I mean, if you're gonna go, go big or go home, that kind of thing. Um, and it's just, I mean, I wanted to get back to that, and I've had experiences when I was a young kid of riding in the locomotives when the train crews were allowing it, because I had a family member that was a conductor. They were actually employed by Southern Pacific. Yeah, that's my favorite livery, Southern Pacific. And just being around just trains in general. Trains go by, I got to stop. It's a squirrel moment for me. I see a train. I'll be in a conversation. The squirrel, the train. I wonder what kind of engines those are. Oh, it's a manifest train. Just things. And then, you know, that's just me. And then I wanted a train simulator to scratch that itch of playing with trains, and nothing that I looked at, even remotely scratched that itch. I wanted something that was going to, you know, allow me to do almost whatever I wanted to do, just like going down to the basement and playing with a model railroad. What am I going to do? I'm going to work on scenery. What am I going to do? I'm going to run a road train over my entire layout. What do I want to do? I want to work the yard. What do I want to do? I want to work a local. Things like that. So I wanted that. I wanted that freedom, and everything I looked at was all scenario based. It's just running. Hey, you're going to run this train from point A to point B, and you're going to do it in a certain amount of time, making these certain number of stops. Oh, good, you completed it. We give you a rating of, and what do I do now? Well, you do the next scenario. I didn't want that. I didn't want that constraint. And in my search for this, it was, I don't even know whoever you are, you know who you are, but there was one individual that made a comment uh, in somebody else's stream in the comment section, and all he said was, this looks like a really great simulator, but it's no Run 8. Scratch my head. What's Run 8? Never heard of it. And so I did a search on YouTube, and yeah, I looked at what came up, started watching videos, and I think it was maybe about, I would say probably, I'm going to say 15 minutes, but no, probably it was more like a couple of hours of just watching YouTube videos and different things that guys were doing inside of Run8. Then now I had to go look for it, and I found it on Run8 Studios. Checked out the website and dropped, was it $50? I think is what it was at the time for the base game, and haven't looked back. Okay, now granted, lately I've been spending a lot of time on Railroader, and that's a whole thing. That's a game. It's like farming simulator. It's a game. It is a railroad simulator. I'll give it that. You do simulate running a railroad, but you get to build a railroad. This is Run8 though. This is modern era, 1995 to about 2005 as near as I could figure, and it's like I said, it was really really cool. And so you're looking at the screen. I come in here and I'm looking at, okay, what do I do? I'm looking at, I launch it. This is what I see. What do I do from here? And I will admit, the first thing I'm going to tell you, and as soon as you get the game, as soon as you get the simulator, the first thing you want to do is you want to jump in and start playing. Well, okay, things have changed a little bit. So before you jump in, install the game, and before you jump in, go to the Run8 Studios site, and then download and install and then run the updater. Okay, because I'll say this: the install package I have doesn't have the updater in it. And so if you come up and you look right here, if you can see my cursor. No, you can't see my cursor. What am I doing? Why is it? Now you're not seeing my cursor. Oh my goodness. Seriously? Over here, I want to look at properties for a second. Capture cursor? Okay. Alright, well, okay. I don't know what to tell you, but anyway. There it is. Now you can see it. Okay. So right here, yeah, I make the mistake so you don't have to. That's my streaming motto here. And I'm always making mistakes, so just learn from my mistakes so you guys don't have to do it. But right here it will tell you if it's updated, and the latest update was 13A, March 25th of 2024. So this has been updated. It's got the latest, greatest. But what this doesn't have are all the DLCs. I'm completely vanilla. Nothing's changed. So, and when you buy the initial game, it's giving you Union Pacific being Burlington, Northern Santa Fe, Southwest US. Well, I honestly think that they should, I'm just going to be a little nitpicky here. I think they should have put this as BNF/UP because really the focus in this is Burlington, Northern Santa Fe. Union Pacific is part of it. Union Pacific in this area has track rights with BNSF and vice versa. Track rights means that sometimes they share the same tracks to get to where they need to go, and then sometimes they're on their own tracks. Then down here in the route selection, you got the Barstow Yard, Yermo Yard. So Barstow is the hump yard. What's up, Adam? How you doing? Welcome to my stream. So then you got Barstow, Yermo, and then BNSF Mojave subdivision, BNSF Needles subdivision. Those are the three different subdivisions that you get. Morning, sir. And anyway, which one do you pick? This was a mistake. This was the first mistake I made. I've got UP BNSF. This is all I've got. And what do I pick down here? Okay, honestly, you pick nothing. Okay, don't pick anything down here. So now I got to exit out. You're going to see a black screen here. Just for a moment as I come back, I got to exit out and clear that. There, we're back. Okay, so this is what you see the launch screen. Ooh, nice new picture. I love it. Hey, man, I'm doing outstanding. Concerned about my daughter, Tana Marie. She's going through something. I cannot talk about it because even though it doesn't directly involve her, it is a very good friend of hers. Had a pretty severe accident, and I'm just going to let it go at that. I'm concerned about her, but I'm going to sit here and stream. As a matter of fact, I got to send her a message because we were talking and then she got into a bad area in the mountains. By the way, hey guys, little side news note: um, if you happen to be in, let me pull this up so you guys, I want to make sure I get this right. If you happen to be in the Roseville, California area, July 12th through the 13th of this year, or say July 11th, we'll have to look at the website to get the actual dates, but Union Pacific's Big Boy 4014 will be journeying from its home in Cheyenne to Roseville, California. Cheyenne, Wyoming to Roseville. So which means it's got to pass through my daughter's backyard. Oh, appreciate you, man. I really do. I'll pass that on to my daughter. But I'm trying to stay focused on what I'm doing here because yeah, it's not good. Anyway, Roseville. So Lazy Farmer is going to be in Roseville July 12th or 13th. I'm thinking maybe even both days. I might take a look at those days. I'm not working that month. We're off on summer break. So Lazy Farmer is going to book a hotel, go take the train to Roseville, and then take the train, go there and watch. I'm hoping to catch the big boy coming in, getting some video of her, and then doing a lot of static shots and things like that. So I'm excited. Union Pacific Big Boy coming to Roseville, California, July 12th and the 13th. Make a note, be there. So anyway, now I forgot where I was going to go with this. Back to Run8. So, there you go. So yeah, you can look it up on. So you live in Wyoming. Awesome. Tell you what, Adam, you can look it up on their website. I looked it up. They'll actually tell you the day she leaves Wyoming. So 87 miles, that's a short trip just to go see the big boy. I'm telling you. Yeah, that'd be absolutely impressive. All right, back to Run8. So, all right, so right now this is where we're at. You do not want to collect. Please do not do that. The route selection's there if you just want to focus on one route. But if you want to focus on, everything that Run8 gives you in this opening package, don't select anything in the route selection. Just click next scenario. So we're going to do that. We go to next scenario. Yeah, I would drive that in a heartbeat, Adam. I mean, honestly, hour and 15 minutes, yeah, I'd drive that in a heartbeat. So anyway, the only two, now there's three here, default route session and a very busy Barstow, come already loaded in with this package. The TLF, obviously the Lazy Farmer redo, that's me. That's the actual save game that I did. I wanted to check it out, see what it looks like. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to jump in and use my save game here. So what's up? US3D2B1. Okay. Okay, I'll figure that one out later. How you doing? Good morning to you. So we're going to go ahead and launch this. So as it loads up everything. Alright, great. I'm excited. I got Run8 loading for the first time. And what is this? Wait, I'm in a bush. Okay. So let's look around. I'm walking out here. Alright, well, and then the next thing we want to do, go to license menu. Now, you may have to. So this is green dot, awesome. I have a valid license. You may have, when you buy the game, they'll give you a license key. You may have to put your license key in. It may already be in the software. Or once you put it in, every time you reinstall it or move it, it will, it'll check. And it did it to me on this one. It was kind of, I'm like, what the heck? I thought I was getting hacked. But you start hearing little pirate voices. Arg. Arg, and I vasti matey, things like that. Yeah, in Wyoming we had the Powder River Division and the heavy coal mines here. Nice. I think I saw something there. I might have to look at that on YouTube. Saw something about Powder River Division. So, all right. Anyway, I'm gonna get this. Next thing, dispatcher. Engage dispatcher for all routes. You could render in the middle of the screen if you want. But you'll see right here, I got all these messages, stop for red signal, stop for red signal. Nothing's going to move until you engage auto for all routes. So that's the next thing you want to do. To get up here in what I call the drone mode, the overhead mode, that was just simply shift and then F12. And then you can move up, down, you can fly slow, kind of creepy, fly medium, fly super fast. So this was something I didn't know about. But look at this. This is what I got to see. And I'm like, what in the world is this? Nothing but boxcars with Run 8 on them? Why is that? Well, that's because I don't have the DLC, and so I've got some issues. Okay, well, it's not an issue. It's just that I don't have a lot of the car packs, and the car packs are for the ones that you don't have, and you can see the differences here. Some of the cars I do have, some of the locomotives I do have. I mean, here's an example. We got a BNSF locomotive up in the front. What's this? Don't know. So it's represented by a Run 8 locomotive. That's no big deal. Okay, guys, you don't have to, and that was something I was concerned about, but you don't have to get the car packs. If you want to know what's in this train, click on a car, come over here to tagger, and this will tell you the cars that are in this train right here, what kind of car it is. So, and I bring this up because I'm delivering this car. Well, that's a bad example. Let's say this acid tank car is going to this industry here, and I'll go back and explain this. So anyway, the game, the simulator, the game, whatever you want to call it, where if I deliver it to that industry, the industry is going to treat it as an acid tank car, whether if it looks like an acid tank car or if it looks like a box car, it doesn't matter. Okay. Um, honestly, but for me, yeah, I'm going to say, you know what? I need the car packs. So this is where I started spending money and getting the DLCs. So, that guy coming in? He rolling in? I got a train over here I got to fix anyway. I just noticed that. And that's coming in with the very busy. He's not coming, is he? Wait a minute. Or is he already in? Yeah, he's technically already in. Okay. So, anyway, when you launch the very busy Barstow, you have a lot of cars here to push over the hump yard. That's where we're going to start. But we also have some mistakes too that they give you, and they do it on purpose. Now let me talk about the routes real quick. Excuse me. Run 8, when they build a new route, and High Rail Simulations as well too. High Rail Simulations is partnered with Run 8 Studios, and they're responsible for the Florida and Georgia Southeast CSX maps. When they build a map, they put in just enough trains to test the map to make sure everything's going to function fine, and they leave those basic trains there. I'm just looking, sorry, got sidetracked. So, anyway, so they test it, but they may leave some switches flipped. And this is very busy Barstow. So this train was sent out. It was AI'd. Okay. Otto was supposed to take it, but we have a problem. Switches weren't flipped. It's coming down here into the engine yard where it actually needs to go this way, and we got a pair of red lights right here, so it's supposed to stop right here until auto lets it go. So let's go ahead and fix this. And I want to show you something. I think this should work. Let's see. Okay, so clicking on this locomotive, I get this screen. I cannot take control of that because I clicked on the train over here to see what was in it, so I have to relinquish the train that I had. Now I can take this one. Well, come on. Train relinquished? Oh, I'm sorry. I misspoke. And left control F8. We can do that twice. And it's AI'd, so I have to stop it. So we're going to stop, change relinquish when stop to relinquish and then stop immediately. So there we go. I misspoke. I apologize. Forget that. Bad train. Yep, bad train. All right, so he should already be running. It is running. All handbrakes are applied, so we're going to hit F5. And let's back this baby up. So left shift and Z will bring up the HUD at the top. Alt R. Is it left Alt R or right Alt R? See, gotta be careful because that actually brings up my. Anyway, so we're gonna click on that. We got this when we take it. Okay, release all handbrakes. Release. That's left. That's left control, or I'm just sorry, just F5. And now we're going to go ahead and use, I'm using all keyboards. I'm not using a rail driver. I'm using nothing but keyboard. And so I'm going to go into, hit delete, go into reverse. That's right there. Come off the brakes. That's going to be left control and end and page down. All right, and let's go ahead and give her a notch up. Started moving forward because we are on a grade. All right. So good time to talk about tags. In fact, I got a whole piece here. I am going to go and break down the particular map here. So when you actually get this, the three subdivisions are connected. You have Needles to the east. Barstow is here in the center, and then you have Mojave, which goes to the west. So once we get this thing set and on its way, I'm going to show you the dispatching screen. Now I'm hoping this helps you. Of course, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments section. You can also join my Discord channel. You can put questions there. I'm usually in Discord and talking with other railroader fans, Run8 fans, or in there playing Demonologist with my daughter. Used to be one. Now I finally got it. Used to be one. Got it. Okay. I'm slow this morning. Coffee's starting to kick in. Alright, we're going to come off of the throttle and come down about, 10-pound reduction. There we go. I do play the Mateo server. In fact, I was on it, and it was fun. I was on it last Sunday, and a good friend, Kung Fu Beer, I was actually in his stream. All right, let's get her completely stopped. Perfect. All right, so we've got the switch thrown. So now a little side note, if you're playing solo, you can actually be up in drone mode or hovering in the air, flip the switches. But if you're on the server, you have to be on the ground. And I just put myself on the ground occasionally, not occasionally, almost all the time. All right, let's go ahead and then to AI the train. Very simple. We're going to click on it. We own it right up here where it says AI Recrew. Boom. And its tag, we're going to talk about tags here in just a moment, but its tag is going to tell me that we are, let's get up here to where we can read it. We're heading from Barstow to San Bernardino, and it is AI. The AI after that is AI'd. So we got 2 blasts on the horn from the AI engineer. He's going to start pulling forward, and he's got 2 reds over here, so he's going to wait for pull up, creep up until auto gives him a release, and then auto will be in control of him, and we don't have to worry about him anymore. And once you AI train, it is no longer yours. You don't have to relinquish it. You've done that by clicking the AI button. All right, let's talk the maps that you get. Okay, so hang on, my buddies. Okay, there we go. Never mind. And I got to pull something up. Okay, so there is a document that you guys can find and read for yourself. I don't believe it is actually in the in your folder, your user guide folder when you install Run8. The Southern California Manifest Ops Mojave Barstow Yermo Needles routes. Okay, and it's on the thing Piglet and Foamer edition, so or version. So it basically is a nice little thing for anybody who's brand new to Run8. Go if it's not in there, if you don't see it in that folder, go to the Depot Plus website and get in. Join it, sign up, get into their forums. You have to sign up there as well too, and just look around, read, okay, because that's a great resource. Something I did not do. All right, so I'm going to read through this as we work through what you get in this first initial package. So SoCal Manifest train operations are centered around 2 major freight yards: Barstow for BNSF on the Mojave route and West Colton Yard for UP on the Cajon route. I'm going to stop right there. So F3 brings up the dispatch panel. So guess what? We're in Barstow Yuma right now. All this right here where you see my cursor floating around, this is the Barstow yard. So receiving yard, the track's going over to the hump yard, south departure yard, north departure yard. This is a representation. It is, first thing I'm going to say is it's not a map. Okay? If you want a map, go to, once again, go to the Depot Plus website. In the resources, they have maps that are PDF'd, so you can either bring them up on your computer or do like I do. I like to have them. I hold them in my hand, so you can download them, print them out. You can write notes on them. That's what I do. But anyway, this is a representation, and then you get the needle sub. So you get all this out to needles, and then you notice this button down here, BNSF Seligman sub. If I click on that, nothing happens because I haven't installed right here Seligman sub not currently loaded. So Seligman sub is not installed, so I can't click on that. Same thing here. Here you get the Mojave sub. I can come back here. From Mojave, we go to Bakersfield. Bakersfield sub is not loaded. Okay, so I've been stopping there. And Bakersfield sub, I mean, that takes you all the way up, from Mojave to Bakersfield up to Fresno to the Cowboy Yard. So don't have that. So we can go back to Barstow, and then we have the BNSF Cajon sub. Cajon is not loaded, and we said right here in the first sentence of this document is that the Union Pacific West Colton Yard is in the Cajon route. So right here, if you wanted the big West Colton hump yard for Union Pacific, then you have to buy the Cajon DLC. And I'm okay. I mean, honestly, you do you know your budget better than I do. But I got so hooked on Run8 that I ended up buying everything. So, all right, let's move on. Almost everything else is just passing through. Okay. So there are exceptions everywhere, and the very broad and generalized overview is limited to Mojave, Barstow-Yermo, because there is the Union Pacific Yermo yard is right up here. It's a flat switching yard. So basically, it's trains coming in from the east into the Yermo, and then they pass through. And that's really cool because if you run the very busy Barstow, you get a lot of train action. You get to see a lot of trains going through. It's very busy, and Barstow is very busy. Is a general overview of our Depot Plus SoCal operations on these routes, which are based on real-world information adapted to the model produced by Run8. It would be a good idea to follow along on your F3 screen. Hey, look, I got my F3 screen up. Google schematics, Barstow raw yard images, and it'll give you accurate scale and blueprints. Or Google Satellite works as well too. Absolutely, good tip. Excellent. Thanks, Adam. Yeah. Now, I mean, you can take a look at that. I mean, look at the maps that they produce for Run8 out of the Depot Plus are very, very good. I mean, that's a great tip though. If you want to go and look at the schematics, you can Google them. You get to see the actual schematics but keep in mind that what you see there may not apply to the simulator because this is 1995 to 2005 and things change. Industries go away. You might see, wow, this industry is not there anymore. And I've done that on the Arbin branch, and it was the same thing. I looked at that, and I'm like, wait, this industry's not there. This industry's not there. What's going on? Why is the industry there in Run8? Quite frankly, the industry was there in the time period that they modeled it, or that industry may have closed like maybe a year or two before the time period that's modeled. So they went ahead and added it back in again. Honestly, that's not a bad thing because that gives us industries to work. All right, the discussion does not include the many intermodal trains or through trains we see. Intermodals operate differently, and through trains do not contribute to delivery of cars, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so basically, I want to say that what they're talking about here is the intermodal, which if I fly down here, this is really the only intermodal yard right here in Barstow. So it's more of like, I would say it's more of think of it as an inspection track. Because there's not a lot of work here that comes in. So we're not going to be talking about the intermodals, although as we're playing through, you may see some trains come through that are nothing but a bunch of long Run8 boxcars. Those are going to probably be intermodals, and they're just passing through. So anyway, now we don't want to confuse routes with subdivisions. The Run8 routes we cover in this overview are models of the BNSF Mojave Sub and the Union Pacific UP Mojave Sub, not the same place on the same track. Parts of the UP Fresno Sub and BNSF Bakersfield Sub, Needle Sub, and part of the, I never pronounce this, Kaima Sub. West Colton Yard on the Cajon route is on the Alhambra Sub. All you need to know to get you started is that we're talking about Run8 routes included with simulator software purchase. So they're basically saying they've come up with some routes for you. And what we're going to talk about is how the tagging system works and get an idea of, I guess something started while I'm talking. This one just came in. I thought I had one I was pushing. Let me go down here. First thing I do, let's see. Back down here. Somewhere I thought I had. Maybe I didn't. Or maybe I did. So I got some locomotives to peel off. Oh, I did. Yep. I did. I was getting ready to push that one over. Okay, so I need to get these out of the way. This is the hump yard, by the way. So I started, and just real quick, I have, hump 2, hump 1. As long as the word hump is capitalized when you go to AI of the train, auto will take care of everything for you. Left control F11. Let's go ahead and come off brakes. We're on a steep hill. This is going to get rolling. I'm not even hitting any throttle here, so I'm going to go ahead and let's see what track. I just need to get out of the way, really. So as we're rolling down, F3, move that, and he brought him down here, so I'm going to go blue. I'm just changing switches remotely. Got to go, because when auto's turned on, you got to turn auto off for that switch, and then click it and then put it back. So this way I can just let this coast down the hill, and hey, you guys get to work. Get out of the way, and then I'll go ahead and start pushing the train back over the hump, and then continue on. So BAR, that's a tagging system. BNSF takes, does three-letter tags: BAR, Barstow, BAK, Bakersfield. Honestly, there's websites you can go to look up the tags, and Run8's very, very, very configurable. Once I get my new computer, I've decided I'm not going to even try to fix this one over here. I'm going to buy a new computer, and it's going to be a low-grade gaming computer. It's going to do one thing. It's honestly going to do one thing, and that's going to be a server. And I'm thinking about putting it on a laptop, believe it or not, because that way if I ever want to go on road like I did a couple weekends ago, it was last weekend actually, I can actually just take it with me and then sit in the hotel, and I can play Run8, Railroader, Lord of the Rings Online, whatever. That is the sound of the alerter. Hit the right Alt key, or you can hit the horn, which is the space bar. Turn the bell on and off. Any action will turn the alerter off. Basically, the alert is there. It's a safety feature on the part of the railroads to make sure that you, the engineer, are awake at the controls. Alright, so full brakes, we're out of the way. We're just going to leave this one sit here. Probably not the best of railroading practices, but who cares? It's my railroad. I can do what I want. Hey, it's your railroad. Do what you want. I'm inside a car. Oh. Give me a minute, guys. My daughter's calling me. Hold on. So I'm back. Thanks, guys, for your patience. Captain Ron, to play engineer and conductor at the same time, the rail driver unit is perfect. You know, Ron, you're right. And I keep going back and forth. Uh, I do everything on keyboard, and there's a story behind that, too. But I keep going back and forth about whether if a rail driver is actually worth it. Let's see. I'm coming down. I'm coming down because he's going to hold up. I'm coming down. Third one. Okay. Here. Okay, this one here. There we go. Now he's lined in. Lined into the hump yard. There we go. All right. So he'll push back, and then he'll slow down and actually travel at about 3 miles an hour, 2 to 3 miles an hour as he pushes cars over the hump. So we're going to come over here. We can watch that happen, what it looks like. And then down at this end, we'll have, I got to see if I got any locomotives down there for trim. So we can pull cars out of the yard as necessary, because when this track fills up, it'll stop operations, and we have to pull the extra the cars out and put them in either the south or north departure yard and build our train. And it's pretty clear. I mean, we just build the train until one of these tracks is full and put the proper amount of locomotives on it, and away they go. So, all right. Anyway, let's get back to. Oh, he did that. Okay. So let's see, where would I leave off at? In this document too that I'm reading through, guys, there is a map, and there's actually even a larger map that you can find. It's available on the website. Just look for SoCal Overview, and it gives you a really good overview of the routes. So, manifest trains carry cars for industry. Okay, boom, dumb. If you don't know trains, and I didn't know when I started playing Run8, like I said, my thing was like watching trains go by. I have no idea. Now I watch a train go by and I go, oh, auto rack. Ah, yeah, stack train. Oh, look, bare tables. Man, I mean, I do that stuff now. My friends go like, would you shut up? So anyway, so manifest cars, and that's what we're going to basically deal with in this beginning module, of Needles, Barstow, Mojave. The idea what you're going to be playing with will be manifest trains coming in, and you're going to sort trains. So, which is what I'm doing right now. They arrive and leave the routes covered by this overview at BNSF Bakersfield near CP Lopez. So you can see it because right here, CP Lopez, right there. So trains will leave out that route near CP Lopez. At CP Linwood near Barstow. Let's get rid of this. Barstow, CP Linwood right here because it goes out to the Cajon sub, which we don't have that one installed. And near Barstow, and at Needles, which basically we go out to Needles Yard, and then eventually they leave this way. We have a pair of trains sitting here. Green means that this is an idea which way these trains are going. Both of them are traveling down the main line, and both of them are heading in this direction. The red means that these blocks are occupied. The green means that these blocks actually belong to the train. Otto has given them authority to operate on the mains in those areas. Both of them have yellow lights, approach lights. I always get the lights still confuse me, so if I got that wrong, hey, forgive me. So they arrive and blah, 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 blah. Inbound manifest trains go to Barstow, where they are broken down into other trains. So clarify, inbound BNSF trains come into Barstow, and they come into here in the receiving yard, which then they get pushed over the hump, which is what I'm doing. We look at all these cars, and they got a whole bunch of different tags. So the idea here is to sort these cars into trains that are either going to go to industries that are on the maps that you have, or they're going to go to other yards that may be off map. and that's all you're gonna do. You're gonna put them, so we have a series of trains. When you figure out the tags and you see, TUL, which is Tulsa, if my memory serves, and BEL, I can't think of what it is now, what city that is, but I know it's to the east. Um, so you can put a whole bunch of these cars. These are all eastbound cars. So you can gather all the eastbound cars, which will eventually go off the map at Needles, gather them all together on one big long train, put a locomotive at the correct end of the train, which if it's going out to Needles, it's going to be at this end of the train, not down here at this end. So, and put the correct amount of locomotives on the end of it. That's a topic for another discussion. AI it, let it go. It's heading off. It's gone. It's out of here. All right. And next one. All right, so Barstow builds local trains to serve industries. The locals depart from and return to Barstow, which is known as their home yard. Okay, so that was something I did not understand when I first started playing Run 8. I every local in this beginning remaps that you get, every local operates out of this yard. Okay, so anyway, let's see. WCLNP, that's West. Okay, I just saw that. That's West Colton, North Platte. That's actually, and that only thing is, two-letter codes are Union Pacific. BAK, Bakersfield. Okay, so we don't have the Bakersfield sub, so it'll eventually go off the map at, as it heads toward Bakersfield. WCL, West Colton, RV, that's Roseville. So these would all go to Union Pacific. So eventually, and we're going to talk about that in this document, is that the Union Pacific will come down with with cars that they may have for BNSF that come into their Yermo yard, come down here. There we go, unit grain train going by. Will come down. They'll bring cars down here, drop them in the classification yard, and then go around to the departure yard, and any cars that are going to Union Pacific, take that train, send it back to Yermo, and honestly, in this case, you can go to Yermo, do some flat switching, which means that you don't have a hump yard. You're not doing this. This is a hump yard. Flat switching means you're using a locomotive to sort cars. Do some flat switching and build your Union Pacific trains up there. AI, let them go. All right. Anyway, I gotta put. You know what? I gotta quit. My phone keeps turning. I'm reading the document from my phone, so I should have printed this out. I didn't. Anyway. So many road trains operating in Barstow leave the route. Some of them stop at smaller yards on Run 8 routes to deliver cars. These smaller yards serve as a home for locals that carry those cars to local industries. If B&F handles a car that is ultimately delivered by a UP local, the car is first brought to Barstow and is sent from there to West Colton Yard on Run 8's Cajon route. So, okay, we could do that. So we're talking about that. These cars here, West Colton, RV. Well, unless you have the Cajon route, it's just going to go off. You're gonna, that's why it's. I mean, options. I'm going. You can put a BNSF locomotive on the front of this thing, and then send it to West Colton, WCL, and then just let it go off the track, and you're done with it. Or, as I said before, take it up to Yermo. Have this little interchange between Barstow and Yermo. It's up to you. It's your railroad. Do what you want. But learn the tags. That's the biggest thing. I had no idea these tags, what they meant. And I believe I have a link on my Discord server to the to the website, and you can look up tags for all and how for all the railroads, whether it's Norfolk Southern, CSX. But you can look up all their tags and see where they go, and you'll as you play, you'll start to know KCK, Kansas City, RIC, Richmond. Okay, so just start to low. You have to if you have to write them down, write them down. All right, so we talked about here. You can build a road train if you want to ride a road train, and say we want to deliver cars as we come down. So Barstow, Yermo, Hinckley, Jim Gray, Boron. I just know that there's a small yard right here on this siding that serves about 3 industries. One is there's like a cement plant there. There's a couple of small little industries with spurs that come right off the main line. And then you have Edwards, which would be Edwards Air Force Base. And so you have like a small little yard there as well too. If you build your road train right, you can put at the end, ride your road train down, stop, drop cars at the Boron yard, continue on down, drop cars here at Edwards, and then just let it go. Because after that, I don't think we have. You can go to the Tehachapi Loop if you want to drive it over the Tehachapi Loop. That's fine. Have fun with it. Like I said, it's your railroad, but all locals. This one down here, UP, SP, Palmdale Cutoff. So all this is Union Pacific. This is Burlington Northern, as you can tell right there. So it's then come up here, Tehachapi, and then eventually leaves as it goes out to Bakersfield. There is a Union Pacific yard right here, and the BNSF yard is down here. So ultimately, that road train that is heading for Bakersfield can be dropping cars and then finally pulling to Bakersfield and then do the return trip. So learn. That's the other thing. Learn the routes. BNSF yards with locals. Bakersfield. Okay, BAK. There are 2 local trains serving industries on Run8's Mojave route. There is also a local from the San Joaquin Valley Railroad based in BNSF Bakersfield Yard that serves industries on this route. There is a turn based in Fresno on Run8's Bakersfield route, an add-on route that runs between Fresno's Cowell Yard and BNSF Bakersfield. So, yeah, that once again, you need the Bakersfield sub is what they're saying there. So, nice way of saying, here's, putting that hook out there with some bait. And you know what? It's okay. Buy that because, it's just more routes, more industries to work, lots to do. And then if you get on the Mateo server, which I have a link to their Discord channel, which goes through and tells you how to join their server and get on there and play. You don't need all the routes to play on the Mateo server or the Depot server. As long as you have this, you can get on there and at least play here. But as you expand the railroad, then that'll give you more areas to play on those servers. Well, so welcome back in. Thanks, Adam. Let's see what we got here. All right, what's next? Let's see. So Barstow Yard, there are 3 locals calling Barstow home. One goes to Victorville on Run8's Cajon route, an add-on, and the other serves industries on the Mojave and Needles route. So if we go back to Barstow, so the Cajon sub, they're right, it goes out here. There is, I got a story for that one too. And I got the Cajon sub, and I was going to do the Victorville local. Victorville's got a good sized yard down there. There's a couple of cement plants that you can work down there, a bunch of little smaller industries you can work down there. So I got the Cajon sub. Here's a lesson I'm going to give you from that. I built the train. Proud of that. Pushing cars over the hump. I think we're done, by the way, speaking of that. Almost. So pushing cars over the hump. building a train. Okay, great. I got my cars going to Victorville. So I figured out what local is what, and I'll show you how to figure that out here in a minute. And if I don't, remind me. And then I AI'd the train, and I tagged it right. Okay. Um, VVC is Victorville. So I believe VVC is Victorville, I believe. And then, so BAR, Barstow, VVC, Victorville. AI'd it, sent it on its way, went about, did more stuff here in the yard. I'm like, okay, let me go bop over to Victorville because I think my train should be there. I go there, it's not there. It's nowhere to be found. And then all of a sudden I see the messages like you see up here in the upper left. It left the map. Only, how can I phrase this right? Not all yards trains will stop at. And I'm putting up my finger. I say, hold on, but there is a way to make it happen, and that's not the scope of this particular tutorial that I'm doing and this particular stream that I'm doing. But there is a way to make it happen. So the LCal 0611. Nice. Let's see. I'm getting ready to serve the boron industry when I leave Barstow with the cars. Is the correct tagging for the locomotives LCal 0611? Great question. Here's what I'm going to do. If you do left control L, okay, you come up with this screen, the industry list. If you click on industry configuration, all right, now you get to see all the industries that you have available to you on the 3 maps that I'm dealing with right now. And this would be all the industries. And if you add more subdivisions, you get all those industries as well too, and you'll see them on this list. So now the question is LCal 0611 / boron the correct tagging? No. Okay, and I'll show you why in a minute. And you're close. You are close. So, but first thing we want to do is we're going to look for the local freight. And your question is LCal 0611. So if you click right here where it says local freight, you can sort it. And we go find 0611, LCal 0611, and boron is BOR. Okay, that's for the borax plant. EDW is Edwards Air Force Base. NAM is North American. Those are the 3 industries served by that local, the LCal 0611. So if you hit the transport button, you can transport out there. You know what? I'm going to do that. Transport out there and take a look at what the industry looks like. So this is where left shift F12, go in the drone mode. Here we get to see the yard. Oh, look, we got, there's the boron plant. We got cars in here. If they're red, they're loaded. If it's green on the tags, they're empties. Like right here, we've got cars, Tacit tank cars, have to go to the West Colton yard, going to Roseville, BAR, LAC, that's San Bernardino. So these cars go back to Barstow. All these cars actually go back to Barstow. And it all depends on how you want to service it. But, I mean, they got 6 tracks. So really, it's 3 tracks for the incoming, 3 tracks going for the outgoing. And it depends on how you want to do it. I mean, you can sort it any way you want. Let's fly down here. So come all the way down. Here's the main line. And we're coming in, and then here's that little tiny yard I was talking about where you can drop cars off. You have a shoving platform here that's sitting there. This is actually, if you look at it, I mean, it looks like a boxcar right now, but if you get the pack for a caboose, then you would actually see a caboose there, and that's a shoving platform that you use because you always want to put a shoving platform between you and a tank car. Basic rules. So your tag is going to be, to answer your question, where I said yes and no, LCAL 0611, and that's your correct tag. So for BOR, for the borax plant, but this is the boron, the little industry. This is actually a little city here, but they're that's a little siting for boron. So the tag, the BOR, is actually for the industry itself, and that's what you want. So EDW, so any cars in the in your LCAL 0611 BOR, boron, EDW, Edwards, NAM, North American, which that's North American right here, and then Edwards is way out there, represented by one NASA. That's the only thing is they didn't give you the full Air Force Base. I was a little disappointed in that, but it is what it is. All right, so we jumped out there on a transport. How do we get back to where we were at? Basically, you just hover everywhere, anywhere on the map. You get the yellow box, hit the space bar, and get the transport sound. We're back. All right, those locomotives have finished shoving cars over a hump, and we have them sitting here, not quite full. Okay, so it will be LCAL, drop the slash. Now you want to drop the slash because what we'll do if you put the slash in there, auto, which controls how the industries work, may not recognize that car as belonging to the BOR, the boron plant. So you want to make it so they gave the tag BOR for the boron plant or the borax plant. We want to make sure that auto sees it and will actually turn that car based on the number of hours on that plant. That's a different tutorial. All right. Okay. Hang on a second. Sidetracked here. I tell my buddy, watch my stream. There we go. Okay. Oh, we got our message. Who else is messaging me? Oh, that's my daughter. All right. So she's off the summit. She's almost at her destination. So, but it is going to be one where it's going to be a long conversation with her this afternoon. Because she's going to need to talk. Anyway. Quincy, shut up. There, I said it. So, my point, Quincy. Yeah, the point here is this is for new players to run 8. So, but we want to tag, and my point being is that when it comes down to your industry, if your industry tag is BOR, make your tag BOR. Don't add the slash. Auto will look for that, especially for the hump yard here. He'll look for that tag. If it's something different, he may not recognize it. And Otto's not perfect. The ongoing joke is that Otto drinks heavily. So, and the other thing too is there is a way you can also, if you go to retag a car, you can say tag for industries and click on it, and that's what I gave you is actually what Run8 will tag. The Run8 developers will tag the car as. So I'm trying to keep everything as is designed to minimize mistakes and go, well, hey, how come you didn't, how come this happened or how come this happened? That's not true. Quincy, that's not true. As long as BOR, if you put that, see, now when you're routing the train, the LCAL 0611 is what Otto is looking at. And he'll route that train, especially if you put that on your locomotive, he'll route your locomotive so you'll go down the right track. The BOR is for the industry. If that BOR is not on that car, the industry will not work it. So I've done that. I mean, I've had cars sit there and I'm like, why are they not turning? Because they were not tagged for that industry. Hey, Robert. So, hey, Quincy, you and I are gonna need to talk, okay? So anyway, back to the document. Um, So, although not included with the base simulator, Cajon is important to understanding train movement. The Cajon, hang on. I'll send you a message in Discord in a minute here, Quincy. So, although not included with base simulator, Cajon is important to understand train movement. The Cajon route includes UP and BNS subdivisions near Cajon Pass, and is extremely important because it includes pivotal West Colton Yard. There are important industries served by both railroads, and you must go through it to get to Los Angeles, a gateway to the rest of the world. Barstow Yard serves industries on the Run8's Cajon route by sending locals to the industries directly and serves the LA route by sending road trains that stop at various yards on the route. If you want simulated trains, movement the area and don't have Cajon route, you'll send your BNS of locals on road trains to the end of the Barstow route to end of the Barstow Yermo route at CP Linwood. So examples of BNF trains and symbols. A manifest from Stockton, STO, would appear on the Mojave section near route at CP Lopez and might stop at BNSF Bakersfield Yard to drop off cars for industries in Bakersfield. It would also pick up power needed to climb over the mountain. Many of these eastbound trains continue to Barstow, BAR, without stopping. The train symbol would be M for manifest-STO BAR or H-STO BAR. From Stockton, STO to Barstow, BAR. Railroad managers make the determination about whether the train will stop during its journey from Stockton to Barstow. You're the train manager, folks. You are the train manager. So, if the M.STO.BAR doesn't stop in Bakersfield, cars it carries from Bakersfield will be added to other cars for Bakersfield and built into a train that goes from, to or passes. From Barstow goes to or passes Bakersfield. One example is a train from Barstow to Stockton. So the reverse route, you can stop at Bakersfield, drop off the cars at Bakersfield. Incoming trains, UP trains. Manifest trains come into and leave Mojave route using UP rails at Bakersfield near Saco and at Vincent, Hilland, and Yermo. They also arrive on BNSF rails at CP Linwood. From CP Linwood, UP trains continue to Yermo. You won't find these trains on Needles. Needles from Barstow to Needles is strictly BNSF. So So anyway, that's just strictly BNSF. But they do, as you see, UP trains going through the Barstow yard. They're actually sharing track rights at that point. Let's go UP outgoing freight. Now Union Pacific yards, because you get two different Class 1 railroads with this. Bakersfield has its own yard. Mojave has its own yard as well too. There are two add-on branches, the Oak Creek branch and the Lone Pine branch. There is also a local for Union Pacific that is based out of Yermo as well. So what they're saying, Yermo Yard, there's a local based out of Yermo. And we go to Mojave, and I always have trouble finding this one. The Mojave Yard. Oh, right here. So BNSF Sanborn, UP Railroad to Ansdale, but there is the Mojave Yard right here. So, and at the Mojave Yard, there's two DLCs that you can purchase. One is the Oak Creek. The other one is the Trona pack as well. And Trona pack has, I mean, Trona comes off and goes, it's not represented on the dispatch screen because they're not, it's called dark territory and it's not represented, it's not controlled by dispatchers, but it goes off and goes out to a huge plant or a series of plants out in Trona. Um, and we'll go. I have a video on that one. Go look it up. I had basically 3 videos of working Trona, and then out of the Mojave Yard, there's a Y right here, and it comes off and goes off in this direction. And there's a big cement plant out there as well too. All that is served by Union Pacific, so you can actually run that train from Barstow, Yermo, here, Yermo Yard, all the way down through the Mojave and on over down through the Mojave using these tracks. You'll be sharing tracks with BNSF and come into Mojave then. So here's the thing, and I did it during my stream. Trona is right. It is some of the ugliest, god awful areas, and if you really want to see what it looks like, watch pretty much any old time Western. The Trona area, and even up to modern day, and I can't think, I'm drawing a blank. There's a recent movie that they use that area to film like wastelands. And in fact, I'm watching the new Fallout series. If you're familiar with the Fallout video game, I'm watching that Fallout series. And I'm looking at some of the wasteland that they were filming. I'm like, I'm wondering if they filmed that in Trona, and they do. It's a movie set. It's a perfect movie set for absolutely nothing, So, but it is a dry lake bed. They got a lot of borax out there, so they need coal to run the plants, acid. A lot of acid tanks, and I mean, we're talking massive unit trains of coal, tank cars, and hopper cars going in and out. Hey, Robert. Yeah, no, I just started watching it. It released it. I'm on like episode 3 already, and it's actually, if you've ever played Fallout, I mean, I'm spending so much time going, that was in the game. That was in the game. Oh, I recognize that. They nailed it. I'm not going to nitpick it because I can do that, but and it doesn't follow the character that you play in Fallout, but it's based along those lines. It's actually very well done. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my son to actually get on and start watching it, so he and I could talk about it because he was a huge Fallout fan, and he went so far in that game and then started doing mods and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, that pretty much brings us to the end of the document here. I would say go get the document itself, and you can, read it for yourself. Get into and read all the documents in your the user guide folder. And then every time you install a new DLC, especially for the routes, go look at that folder because the documents might change. New documents may be added. Case in point, Norfolk Southern's Pittsburgh Lane East. They have a whole document about how the coal operations work out in that area. So it's up to you how you want to play Run 8. You can be as prototypical as you want, which is where I kind of got hung up at the beginning of it. Or you can do your own thing, which is what I did with Mohawk and the Selkirk subdivisions. That when I purchased those, they're pretty much wide open. And so I went through and redid all the industries. I redid the tagging system I have links in the description to the external consist editor and their I believe the tagging, a link to the website for how to fix the tagging system on your railroad, so you can add your own. Not every single tag is represented. So if you want to create a train and say I need a train that will go from Barstow to, I don't know, let's pick a city. Let's say Toronto, Canada. I'm just pulling it out of there. Not that they go there. I'm just pulling out. That's what you want to create. Okay. Well, you can put BAR and maybe do TOR for Toronto, but Otto's not going to know how to route that train unless you get in and fix the routing in the maps. That's a whole different thing. That's a whole different topic that I can cover, but it's something that you can do. And that was something that I had to do on the Mohawk Selkirk. So I was creating using modern day tags, not tagging from 95 to 2005. I had to change all those to modern day tags. So things that would make sense to me on my railroad. Um, so let's see if I. Okay, hello everyone. What's up, Paul? How you doing? I'd like to expand my run experience into utilizing the network. Anybody have suggestions on how one can get started using the servers? You know what, Paul? I got the perfect suggestion for you. In my description, there is a link to the Mateo servers. Now you can use the depot. The depot has a public server, and then they have the Depot Plus, which is, I want to say it's their hardcore server. Those guys on there, those are actual railroads like Quincy plays on there. They follow G Core, which is General Code of Operating Rules or Regulations, however you want to say it, which I've been reading also as well, Quincy. Um, but I would recommend the Mateo server because they're very casual, they're very forgiving. If you make a mistake and make a train disappear, they'll help you get it back. They don't kick you off. They want you to, obviously be respectful of the server. And so I would say jump into the Mateo. If you're not using Discord, use Discord. Get the link to the Mateo. I got the invite there. Um, there are some good videos that Kung Fu Beer has put up on how to do auto and what's involved in a checkout ride. I'll tell you right now, learn how to use the fence option in a train that has DPUs, distributed power units. Because honestly, if you know how to do that, you'll pass the checkout ride. Okay, practice here on this map. Practice your trains on this map here. Practice bringing a long train in from Needles into Barstow. Practice, tag it right. Um, so that way, obviously, auto can route you into the Barstow yard. Uh, learn get a map. Go get the maps from the Depot Plus. Know your speed as well. Don't go fast. I mean, there's that short on my YouTube channel, my one and only short of somebody that was on was kind of doing a checkout ride, having some fun, and yeah, he didn't know his speed, and he was on track that was rated for 15 miles an hour. He was doing 50, and if it wasn't turned on, we would have rolled the train. Which one was that? It might need to be fixed on my end. It may have timed out. So anyway, um, I'll go back. You know what I'll do? Hey, Paul, I'll just go ahead and I'll revisit all those links. I'll just fix all those links. Um, yeah, so that we'll do that. We'll take care of that. But yeah, I would just practice, and that's it. It's not, I mean, it's not hard. It's not difficult. Don't be intimidated. Um, and it's good to be in Discord. You don't have to be in a voice channel unless, hey, they have a planned operating session, at which point you need to be in the voice channel. Don't be afraid to talk. Nobody's going to ridicule you. They might have some fun with you and like that. Just, keep it lighthearted, keep it fun. So, yeah. Yeah, try the one that's in my description. Um, and if not, you can always join my Discord. I know that one's open. And I'll get you a link and I'll get you into the Mateo, but definitely do the Mateos. It's very popular, very busy. Let's see. And if you want to expand your Run8, thanks, Robert. Says the man that's completely addicted to Railroader now. Robert, I'm telling you, man, I got you hooked on Railroader. Next thing you know, you're going to be strung out on Run8. So, and really, Run8, I mean, Run8 and, excuse me, hang on. I think I need more coffee. Run8 and Railroader are really very, very similar. The biggest thing with Railroader is that it looks. I mean, it looks. In my opinion, it looks better. I do like the way it looks, and it has the money aspect on there, which gives you that simple sense of accomplishment. But complete sandbox, open world, um, railroading experience. It's yeah, actually you want to go with Run8, and that's I mean you can do pretty much anything you can think of. It's just knowing how to do it, and the information is out there. You know, I appreciate you, Paul. Thank you very much. Although Quincy will probably argue differently there, but that's all right. He's grumpy anyway. All right, you know what? I'm down here staring at this. Let's go ahead and find another train to push over. All right, I'm gonna pull this guy. You know what? I'm gonna delete this guy, these guys. These guys, I don't need them. Let's delete them. I'm going to relinquish whatever train I had. All right, and we're going to take these guys. These guys show me. Okay, so this is a good sign of a tag too. The Y meaning yard dash bar dash hump 2. As long as hump is in there, is in the tag, that's all Auto's looking for. If you want, this is a nice thing with the tagging system. You click tagger, it shows both locomotives. If you want to tag it this way, you can. Heck, you mean you can even just make it all capitals. My hump train. That's all you need. Okay, my hump train. And as long as the word hump is in there, Auto will work with it. I would love to see some new routes added to the West Coast, i.e. Fresno to Roseville, finish the Soledad line, Seligman to Winslow. Paul, I'm telling you, that's something you're in the. I mean, just join everybody because that's what everybody wants. I mean, I grew up um, on the road in the Rose. Well, let's just say I grew up playing around trains in the Roseville area as a little kid. Yeah, once again, I've mentioned this in my videos that it's I had a godfather that worked for Southern Pacific, and so he got me on trains, and I used to go from Emeryville, to Sacramento, and then if my mom wanted to go, play around in the casinos, we would continue on to Reno. So, And that's before they put the tunnel in, or the trench, not the tunnel, the trench. So, but it was still nice. I mean, it was fun. I mean, I got to ride in the locomotives and stuff. Um, Pittsburgh East, go far west to Conway Yard. Everybody wants that too. Honestly, everybody wants that. Um, Ultimately, I would love to see all this interconnected. That's that's the idea behind what Handkerchief and I have created. But now it's kind of like it's kind of dead because my server died. So and I just haven't gone around to buying a new one or trying to. I'm not even going to try to fix this one. I'm just going to part it and then throw the rest out. But once my Mosel server, which unfortunately, guys, it is low on the priority list to get going. Once the Mosel server's up, Handkerchief and I are able to share trains back and forth. Okay, and that's simply by taking a file, and he builds a train that's destined for Mohawk, and then gives me the file, and then I import the file into my map, and then vice versa. And now that train that has nothing but cars destined for from all my industries is now on my map, and that's how that works. So it's a manual process. There is no automated process. I would love to see that. In and around Chicago, it's like every Class 1 railroad comes in and around Chicago. I would love to see that map created, to where that's the interchange. And now you have these different servers, like the Mateo server might be able to, send cars to Handkerchief server and so on. Something along the lines. It's a lot of programming, but something like that would be really cool. I would love to see that. Yeah, you Lancaster. Okay. Yeah, I spent considerable time on Kahuna, Tehachapi. Oh yeah. No, it's so I would love to. Yeah. I mean, to see. I mean, I live about an hour north of Calwa. And in fact, last week I came through Fresno area on the way back home from Santa Maria, and used to be able to see the Calwa yard from the freeway. They've put up a sound wall now, so I can't see anything. But it was always kind of nice to go by the yard and take a look at the cars, and but I'm sorry that the freeway noise kind of was disturbing the denizens of the Calwa yard. But hey, but to see those trains come through the area where I live, and then not only head to Stockton and continue from so go from Calwa to Stockton, Stockton to Roseville, or come to Stockton and then go west and end up in the San Francisco Bay Area. And you've got Port of Richmond, and then down in the southern part go to Port of Long Beach, and now you got trains going back and forth. So there's a lot, yeah. Ron, how about taking a train from Selkirk Yard to Delano, California? And I bring that up because there was a video out there from Seven Idea Productions, and they were doing. It's really beautiful. They had put out some really good work. I highly recommend them. I think I even added it to one of my favorite videos. If not, I'm going to have to add it. But they were doing trains coming over Donner Pass in the snow, and they were stopping at all the different points along the way and catching trains. And it was just happened they were catching this one train coming over, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is," and I forgot the tag, but it was from originating in Selkirk and heading for Delano. I'm like, "What? What? Hold on, back that up, look at that," and sure enough, Union Pacific has a yard in Selkirk. So, yeah, why not? It would be beautiful to see all these other maps, and have all Class 1 railroads. Kansas City Southern, because that's the time frame we're in. Kansas City Southern would be nice. But it's not going to, I mean, we're not going to see anything. I mean, we just got the MP15 that's taken 3 months for that. Which is nice. I've always wanted the SW 1500 switchers, which they stopped making those in 1974, and then they started making the MP15s from 74 to like 85, and essentially it's the same locomotive with different bogies. That's it. That's what I said. I'm like, I had to stop and think. Selkirk to Delano, so. And see, now Quincy would know because Quincy's CSX. He would know. So, which, I mean, if you want Kansas City Southern, I mean, the liveries, you can go, I mean, Discord, there's the Discord enhancement page. Didn't really want to mention that because I don't want, my point of this video was for people that are brand new to Run 8. And you want to help them and let them know that I'm out there to help them. I know Quincy's out there to help them. But I want to give them a very basic, this is what you do. Okay, this is how you do it, and not so that they don't make the mistakes that I made. And that in just these three, and this is why I reloaded the game. I mean, and that's the other thing with Run 8 too. You can actually, honestly, if you want to do your own server, you get the server in the software. You can load up Run 8 in 3 different folders. So you can do like Run 8 Simulator, Run 8 Studios, Run 8 Trains, 3 different, and then install the server into those 3 folders, and you can actually run and have multiple instances of this simulator running and have different servers going. It's up to you. It's very, honestly, it's very, very flexible. Also add some Alco units. As long as they're in the time frame of like from 1995 to 2005, that's the time frame that this simulator, anything that's being used during that time frame, yes, add it. I know some people want to see steam locomotives. Not widely used for railroad operations. I mentioned earlier, and I'll say it again, that this July 12th and the 13th, the Union Pacific's Big Boy is actually going to be in Roseville, California. And so it's coming through Reno, which means in order to get there, it's got to come through Reno, which is where my daughter lives. So my daughter's already said, okay, Dad, you need to come visit me and we'll watch it come by together. And I'm like, no, you need to come to Roseville. We're going to watch it come into the Roseville station, and I want to see it in static, as a static display as well too. And that's coming out of Wyoming. So you can go, I already looked it up. You can go to the Union Pacific's website and look up the Challenger. I think it's called Whistle Stop, Union Pacific Whistle Stop, whatever. And it comes out of Wyoming, and it shows the maps. The map it's going to take going to Roseville, and then the map it's going to take coming back from Roseville. So somewhere along those lines, if you're in there somewhere near that route, you're going to get to see the Union Pacific's Big Boy. All right, let's go. I was sitting there talking. I cannot talk and run a train at the same time. I'm just telling you. Yeah. Just rub it in. Just rub it in. Okay, everybody, party at Adam's house. Did I get this thing going again? No, haven't started it. So starting a train, I mean, you can go in and actually, well, on these other units is very limited, but on the bigger units, the big road units, you can go through the entire process to start the locomotive manually. Honestly, it's just easier. Auto start all locomotives that are connected. Those 2 are connected. They're going to start. Automatic MU and DP, so it throws all the breakers that it needs. Automatic circuit breakers, automatic air brakes, everything's all set. We just gotta wait for them to fire up. I think there's 2. I looked it up and they mentioned 2. But I think that one, Robert, is the one that's the primary one that they're using on these whistle stop tours. With a rail driver, you can do a lot, Captain Ron. I mean, that's, like I said, I keep going back and forth. What really on the rail driver, what kind of really stopped me was, God, I hate to say this, but I watched a video of a guy doing an unboxing, and what he got coming out of the box was not, let's put it this way, it should never have passed quality control if there was ever even quality control there. So that kind of really discouraged me from pulling the trigger. The second is in Cheyenne at Railroad Park, Cheyenne, Wyoming. So did, but yeah, I looked at the website. I can't remember. I had it up yesterday when I was at work, and I was looking at the website, and just when I read, I mean, I know that it was at 4014, I think is whatever it is. That's the one that's coming, and then the other one is like 885 or something like that. They made it sound like that one was also. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Can't flip it there, so, but I'm looking all the way down there. It looks like there's something on this track. And that's why I was going, uh-oh, because I was looking to see if anything came in. Nothing was coming in, so there's something down here. And you get to do things like, hey, you know, I got a train that came in. Well, I got locomotive on this end. I got locomotives on those other ends. What do I do? Well, now you got to take that locomotive. This is where having the printed map out would be nice. Take that locomotive off, pull it off, and go put it over in the engine house where it's going to get sand and fuel and, you know, oil, all that kind of good stuff. Ah, it's stationary. Gotcha. UP has an operating Challenger as well. I just, you know, that's why, okay, this is my fantasy, was where my thoughts go on that. And we got Robert started on Railroader. That was, I look at Railroad, and yeah, I get it. I mean, the Class 1 Railroad is supposed to be the Atlantic. This is supposed to take place in North Carolina. But as I play with the steam, I'm thinking about what used to happen here in and around Yosemite Valley, and that there used to be steam service into Yosemite Valley. There was actually a huge logging flume that came down the mountain. We're talking, this thing went straight for miles, and they used to drop logs into that flume, and then they would come down here, near where I live, and then they would take those logs and, you know, cut them up, do whatever they need to do to them, put them on a train, and they would ship that lumber out. And of course, you know, National Park, all that came to a stop. The railroad died. So hence, in my Railroader videos, why I named my railroad Yosemite Valley Railroad, because in my mind, I'm playing around in Yosemite during the steam era. That's just me. And that's, thank you, Robert. The biggest thing that actually helped the graphics for me in Run8 is when I went from my old monitor to a 4K monitor. I spent money on a brand new video card, which I determined I probably didn't need to do. And it just, I mean, the 4K monitor has improved the, you know, how Run8 looks. It still has some, and this is inside Run8, it still has some anti-aliasing issues, but it's not as, you know, on this new monitor, it's not as bad as it used to be. So, and it's, I know it's, you know, it's all about learning the tags. You're like, this is a proper YSBD 3021 space MAR. That is an example, what we were talking about before, how the depot or Run8 has set up how the tags are supposed to be. So that's San Bernardino. That's going to be the yard local. out of San Bernardino 3021, and it's going ADM as Archer Daniels Midland. CRG, I'm not sure who that is. But then here's RCAL 07 RHS. So all the 3-letter codes are the different industries. And I showed you earlier how to look up the industries. But this is an example right here. So Captain Ron, you were asking about your tagging. This is how, and this is what I model. This is what I do. If this is what Run8 does, this is what I do. But you can go into the industry, and this is once again a topic for another. I think I have another video, but I can topic for another redo video. You can go into the industry and say I have a cement plant. I can put the tag on there instead of BHM. I can change that tag to literally say Bob's Cement Plant. And as long as this car says Bob's Cement Plant, that's where Run8's going to, Run8 will know to turn that car. But if it goes in at Bob's Cement Plant and this car gets dropped off and it says TRM on it, Run8 the car will just sit there, and you're gonna be left wondering why is this car not turning? Why is it not getting emptied? It's been over 24 hours game time. And actually, let's talk about that real quick. It is literally 24 hours. So I'm playing today, and it's 9:30 my time on the 13th. Okay, game time here it's 2 o'clock. I didn't jump forward. But let's say I drop a car off at, here's one for boron right here. Here's your tag right there, as a matter of fact, Captain Wrong. LCAL 0611 space BOR. BOR. So that's exactly how Run8 tags it. Adam, take care, buddy. Thanks for popping in. So, so that being said, I forgot where I was going to go with that. I got sidetracked. Oh, industry time. So if I'm dropping a car off at boron, we'll say, at borax, and it's supposed to be 24 hours for that tank car to be emptied, and I drop it off at 10 o'clock this morning, and then I come back into the game 2 days later, and I go up and go date time and use system time, it advances that time to over that 24-hour period of time. Those cars will be emptied. So Run8 operates in real time. All right, let's get a notch up here a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I've got some cars sitting here. Whoa, slow down. Under 5, I'm good. Anything under 5 is fine in Run8. I actually like to do. That was a little faster than I like. Alright, so I'm actually going to take this, F7 it, so they're all connected. I'm going to push back and bring them with me and then drop them at the end down there and have to run around and shove them over. I'm telling you, okay, Robert, you were already into simulator games when you were playing Farming Sim. So, and that's why I said that, Railroader is the farming sim version for railroading. Because, you're making money. You make money in Farm Sim, you make money in Railroader. Let's see, can I flip this one? Nope. So I gotta come back here and unlock it by turning it blue. Oops. Now I can click on it and it moves. So, and then the same thing with this one down here. I've already clicked it blue, so Okay, so now it's unlocked. All right, let's shove back, clear this, and then we're going to come down and I believe it's the next track over. Are they mods or are they enhancements? Captain Ron. So Captain Ron is asking, on the train sim community, there are some Run8 mods. Do you know if they are safe to download or will they mess up my game? Number one, anything you download from the internet, always scan it for viruses, anything else before you actually. Now all that it's not confusing, Robert. It's really not. It's yeah. This is, just remember, this is not a map. Right click, unlocks it so you can change it, and as long as it's unlocked, if a train is coming in and Otto needs it, he'll take it back from you. That's why I leave it blue. And that's, once again, being the teacher that I am, that's what I would teach you. And it's really, think about this, it's no different than what you're doing in Railroader as far as, moving cars. It really isn't. This is just a modern era of Railroader. All right, let's bring this car back. Now this looks different. I'm still in forward, but that's because the locomotive that's connected to, oops, I'm off the handbrake too. I forgot about that. The locomotive that's connected to these cars is actually the lead locomotive, so forward is relative to the lead locomotive. We're going back to Captain Ron's question. If there are enhancements, they're pretty much safe, but enhancements are, once again, scan them for viruses. And then what they are is they are they're a file replacement. So if I want to, say, make my locomotives, these locomotives here, instead of saying looking like Run8, I want to look like Kansas City Southern, then I would get an enhancement and I would put that overwrite the file for these locomotives so they look like, but that, when overwriting it removes the original file. So always back up your original files. And the best way, it's easy enough to do it too, is back up your folder that you've installed Run8 into. Back that entire folder up. And if ever you have like a hard drive meltdown, you have that folder sitting on an external hard drive or in the cloud somewhere, you can always re-download it. Oh crap, I forgot to switch switches back here. That one's good, but I need to look at these back here, or I'm going to have a coupler situation. That one's right. And that one's right. Okay, I don't think I'm far enough back anyway. It breaks. All right, so we're going to come down here. This is unlocked. It's still blue, so I can click on that because this is electronically controlled. And then I'm set. I'm going to go in reverse. Actually, I'm going to do something different. Instead of going in reverse, I am going to click on that locomotive and set it as the lead locomotive. Now we just go back forward, and it's going to come forward. So that's something I'd have to look into, Ron. Mostly, my understanding is Run8 doesn't allow mods, and I say that because I kind of wish that they did, in terms of letting their fan base make the new maps. ES40DL. And that's the other thing too. My understanding is, unless something's changed, I'd be very hesitant. If it's an actual mod, I would be very hesitant. I don't know if Quincy, because Quincy likes to play with mods, he did that. He completely modded out Railroader. Um, but for the enhancements, and now some of those enhancements, like I said, they just changed the appearance of what's already in Run 8. So for an ES40DL, you may be taking, say, like the ES44 ACs and changing their appearance. It's still the same model, it just has a different look. And so at which point, you know, if that's the look you want, just know that you'll be losing something, and that's typically what it is. If you go into Captain Ron, if you join my Discord, if you haven't done so already, send me a link to that. I'll take a look at it and try to get you a definitive answer. But there is a link. Well, you know, in Discord, you can do a search for it. There is a Run 8 enhancement, and they have lots of enhancements. Lots of enhancements. I mean, we're talking the new MP15 just came out. Which, yes, I've had people like, hey, you got it wrong. Yeah, no, I was looking for the Amtrak one, and I didn't think passenger, and that's where it's at. They didn't put it under locomotives. They put it in the passenger service. That's fine. That's my mistake. I get it. I'll own my mistake. But some people, I mean, we're talking within days. People had already come out with different liveries enhancements for the MP15. All right, come off of this and take off slow speed. I know some people had come out with Norfolk Southern stuff before we had the run, you know, the Pittsburgh line east. So, yeah, just send me the link in my Discord channel, in my Discord server. I'll look at it and I'll message you back through Discord. So I really do hope, honestly, guys, that this video, because we're coming up to the 2-hour mark and it's time for me to come to a stop. So I'm hoping this kind of helps new players out. I'm not covering everything. It's more of like what I went through and what I've learned playing. My goal here is to have that first time Run 8 player have a little bit better experience, you know, and you know, understand that, you know, Run 8's very flexible. There are some things to learn. All the locals, like I didn't know, all locals come out of Barstow on these 3 subdivisions. Well, actually, technically it's 2 subdivisions, but because you have Needle subdivision, Mojave subdivision, but Barstow is like a little separate, almost like a little separate subdivision. We'll just consider it that way. We're down to 3. There's 3. We're under 3. Okay. I don't want to hit that too hard, knock rust off that coupler. All right, come off the brakes. Hit the ground. All right. So at this point, we're ready to push this over the. For some reason, I'm unable to add your Discord server. I've tried several times clicking the link. I was able to find and add Train Sim Community one. Awesome. Are you getting a message like has a link timed out? Because if that timed out, which is, I set that to never, so. But you know what? I'll revisit them all. Give me a few minutes here, and I'll go put some new ones up, and in the description, and we'll go. or you can find me as TheLazyFarmer in Discord. Send me a private message and I'll send you an invite. All right. Anyway, that's it, guys. Like I said, I really hope this helped. So, and if there's anything else, hey, can give me some ideas about what you want to see, some knowledge stuff. If I don't know it, I'll go find it and get the answer for you. Other than that, I want to thank everybody for joining. Great chat today, guys. And of course, as always, if you're new to the stream, go ahead, click that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you know when I stream next. Share it out with friends, family members, strangers, whatever. Let's go ahead and build this community. I want to build the Run8 community. That's interesting. Okay, Paul, yeah, if you do a search for TheLazyFarmer, send me a private message. I'll send you a link. I'm going to jump into Discord right now. But for right now, I'm going to call it. My name is Kurt H. I am TheLazyFarmer. It is a 2-hour mark. Time for me to bring the stream to an end. And I will be back. Of course, like I said, I talked about my Discord channel. Pop in there. Send me messages. Ask questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll go find them. We'll get you into railroading and playing Run8 or Railroader. Anyway, thanks guys. Have a great one. I will see you tomorrow. I'll do Railroader in the morning, and then I think in the afternoon. I've been invited to come back to Kung Fu Beer again, and we had a fun time last week. Maybe we can do it again. It's up to him. It's his stream. I don't want to invite myself, but I'm inviting myself. I'm just saying. Anyway, have a good one, guys. See you later.